So Bath Wizard's getting into franchising is the rumor that we're spreading, and I want to tell why we're making those claims and why we're entering that space and why we're looking for entrepreneurs in smaller markets specifically. First, I want to tell a little backstory on the industry. Then I want to tell a little backstory on Bath Wizard. Then I want to tell a little backstory on the marketplace as we see it, and then how it portrays to you. And it might not be you. You might be sitting here and it's maybe you got a friend or family member that is kind of stuck in a dead-end job, but you know they have potential, and you know there's something better for them out there. So my relationship with the industry goes back generations, actually. My dad, his dad, and his dad's dad were all custom home builders, carpenters, and farmers. I like to say that, no offense to my family, but we're kind of like the Amish with shoes and motorized vehicles. We did everything ourselves. I remember as a little kid, my dad did everything around the farm, and I didn't even know what a plumber was. I remember the first time someone explained, here's how other people do it. They hire someone to come and do stuff. And I remember scratching my head as a little kid thinking, man, that sounds crazy. Why don't they just do it themselves? And we heard a term recently, and it kind of summed it all up really easily and quickly. And that is, Bath Wizard is in the do-it-for-you business. And the do-it-for-you business is a big one. Many reasons. The biggest reason is not many people can do. A lot of people can't do it. And HGTV, they watch these shows on TV, flip this house and this old house, and they think they can do it, which is even more dangerous. And they kind of create the market for us, the ones that screw it up. Because it looks good for a couple of years, and then 2 years later it's starting to leak. But anyway, as a little kid, I obviously didn't know about the do-it-for-you business because I watched my dad pretty much do everything. Welding, building cabinets. I watched him weld a trailer. I watched him build custom cabinets. I watched him fix tractors. I watched him fix everything. My bike, my mini bike, four-wheelers, trucks, cars. Into high school, car breaks down, Dad and I are out there and he's showing me how. I was an idiot, but he showed me how to do it. Now I'm relatively handy. But that's the backstory for me. I moved up to Kansas City about 16 years ago yesterday. My daughter just turned 16, that's how I know. She was born in Pittsburgh, Kansas, and we moved the same day to Kansas City. So 16 years up here, and at about 13 or 14 years ago, I answered an ad for selling walk-in tubs. I saw a walk-in tub on TV, and I thought, wow, those are expensive. Those are going to be hard to sell. But they're going to be high in demand with the baby boomers. Little did I know that it would be bringing me back to kind of home improvements someday by answering that ad for walk-in tubs. Anyway, go sell walk-in tubs and travel a 3 or 4 hour radius, and had no idea that there was a cottage industry brewing that I didn't know anything about, and yet I knew everything about. So 13 years ago, if you would have asked me, hey, hire someone to do your bathroom, I would have thought, well, not much money in that. The first time I heard was a company called Jericho Home Improvements in Kansas City. And I remember hearing that they sell bathrooms for, you know, $20, $30, $40, $50,000. And I said, are you out of your flippin' mind? Who in the world is going to pay that? No one on earth is going to pay some company that much money to remodel their bathroom. And I couldn't even believe it. What I didn't know was that my dad, guys like my dad, they really don't exist in high bulk, high quantity. They're the white elephant. So they're few and far between. The Amish, again, we're kind of like the Amish. The Amish teach their kids and then their kids and then their kids, and they do everything themselves. I believe the term that Amish use is the Europeans. That's everyone else outside of the Amish community. The Europeans, they don't do it that way. And in fact, no offense to hardworking tradesmen out there, because I love you, and there's a lot of you out there that are good. But once I moved to Kansas City, I found out that there's a lot more, in fact, a substantially higher number, that were kind of the screw-ups in school. You know, they screwed everything up in their life. Sorry, I'm bouncing quite a bit here. Probably driving everybody nuts. Let me adjust that a little bit. Driving me nuts. So the market that I found out in Kansas City, it's kind of the remodeling is kind of where all the screw ups went. All the kids that got drunk, got high, that just screwed up in life, and which has created a cottage industry for those who don't get high, don't get drunk. I remember the first time I heard the phrase, and James Moberg, my business partner, he's used it many times when people were telling him to get in this business, and that was, dude, you're gonna kill it in that business because 99% of the business comes from just showing up. And my lands, is it true? Until you've entered the remodeling business in the last decade, there's excuses after excuses, story after story. It's turned me into one of the biggest cynics on the planet. Someone tells me their grandma died, I've got to see the obituary. Okay, until I see the casket, until I see the hearse driving down Main Street, I don't know. They probably drunk or hungover is the first thing that comes to my mind. I had a contractor tell me that this morning. My back, my neck and my back. It's always something. Long story short, the phrase of all you got to do is show up in that business, it's not quite that easy, but let's face it, even a dummy like me can do it, okay? It's a pretty easy business. So from walk-in tubs, I stay in the walk-in tub business for quite some time, sold thousands of walk-in tubs all across America. And one of my friends kept telling me, for about the last 4 years I was in the walk-in tub business, my friend in New Orleans, who I talked to pretty frequently, he kept calling me back, and he'd say, dude, where are you heading? I'm driving to Arkansas today. I love driving, and I actually did love driving, but now that I don't anymore, I like that even more probably. But at the time, didn't bother me a bit. But what did bother me is he said, dude, you are driving by hundreds of thousands of rooftops from Kansas City to go to Arkansas. And I'm like, man, he's right. There's thousands of rooftops that I'm passing. But they don't need walk-in tubs, Stephen. Come on, brother. Walk-in tubs is a niche. And he said, dude, you're missing a bigger niche. And one of our walk-in tub competitor companies also sold showers. And I remember hearing from sales reps that would quit there and come to us. You know, they sell quite a few $12,000 to $15,000 showers. And I remember thinking, $12,000 to $15,000 showers, are they flipping nuts? Who in the world would pay that? And I said, my God, they must have a hell of a sales pitch. And they did. They had a pretty good sales pitch. I heard rumors of what it was, and it was a pretty good one. The thing I didn't know is it wasn't necessarily that they were silver-tongued devils, although they were, and it wasn't that they had an amazing sales pitch. They did. The market is telling America what it wants, okay? The market is telling that they are fed up with drugs, alcohol, and the screw-up in school handyman. They've had such enough of it that they're willing to pay goofballs like me hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to install bathrooms in their house. So that's the long and the skinny of it. That's kind of how I entered the shower business. My first thought of the shower business was about 13 years ago, and my friend from Minnesota, who worked for Home Depot in the past, and Home Depot had came out with a shower that he said, he called it an acrylic shower, which sounded mysterious and was sounded awesome. And then he showed me what it was, and I said, dude, who in the hell is gonna pay money for a plastic shower? Okay, because at that time I thought of plastic like a Happy Meal toy. Dude, I think y'all are nuts with your plastic showers. And if you think people are going to pay $7,000 or $8,000 for freaking plastic, I'm not invested in that scam. So, and little did I know I was the moron. And that quote unquote plastic shower is actually years and years of engineering and research and science, and it's getting better every day, just like Bath Wizard. The showers that are coming out right now that Bath Wizard sells, they're freaking insane. You could, and I tell people all the time, watch a football game on TV. Those big 300-pound guys banging their helmets for 2 hours, and nobody's brain gets scrambled. That's new technology. That's new science. That's turning oil in the ground into something new. And that's what's happened. We call it the evolution of bathing. We call it science of bathing, science, research, technology. It's new. It just came out. You got to open your mind a little bit. Don't be an idiot like me and be so close-minded to new ideas. Because these showers that we have now, you can spray water on them for 30 or 40 years and they don't even turn colors. And I thought they were full of SHIT until I sold a few, and the customer said, you know what, those are kind of cool. And then it really sunk in on a couple of appointments. In particular, I was in Illinois working, and customer had a bathtub made of this new high-tech polymer material that they had purchased 10 years ago, and 2 or 3 people had used this bathtub and wall system every day for the last 10 years. And it looked like that it was just installed yesterday. And all salesman BS aside, that's a true story. And the only reason she wanted to change it is because she couldn't step over the ledge. So because she didn't want to step over the ledge, she was fully aware. We didn't have to drug her. We didn't have to hold her down and tie her hands behind her back. She fully knew what she was buying, and she paid, I think, $15,000 or $16,000 to do it a second time 10 years later, just to reduce the step in 12 or 13 inches. So sold another one in Illinois, which took my belief level through the roof. That was a customer, again, an older couple, and they had bought they had a tile shower that the shower pan had went bad 8 years ago, and they bought what's called a shower liner floor, and that's where you essentially glue this high-tech polymer system right to the top of the shower pan. And they've been using that for 8 years and loved it, and now the walls around the shower had begun to, the tile had begun to fail because they didn't put the high-tech polymer on the tile walls. And I believe they paid us $12,000 to put the new wall system. The floor that they've been using, literally and 2 people using it for 8 years, every day for 8 years. And all salesman BS aside, that shower floor looked gorgeous. And so they paid us $11,000, $12,000, $13,000, I can't remember which, to do the wall system. And it took my belief level through the roof. We came back to Kansas City. We started the Bath Wizard